welcome back to another uneducated opinion. Alright, I am your host Jordan, and I'm back today with some more Saw news. In particular, the Saw 11 sequel to Saw X. This was during the same interview with the Games Radar's SFX magazine, goodness, where Saw X producers Mark Berg and Oren Cowles discussed the Spiral sequel status, and then they also seemingly confirmed the direction of Saw 11, and some minor details as well. Oren is asked about the direction Saw is headed after the success of Saw X, and then Oren replied with, Cecilia is still alive, Tobin and Shawnee are in a foreign country still. So that, to me, that would only be the natural place to take it, at least the next one. So it looks like Saw 11 will be a direct sequel to Saw X. But that last part really stuck out to me when he said that would be the natural place to take at least this one. I'm hoping this means there are plans to explore different time periods in the Saw franchise, and so that way they can expand the lore. So I'm excited to see how they structure these new upcoming Saw films. Back to Saw 11, being a direct sequel. Like Oren Cowles said, it's only natural for Saw 11 to be a direct sequel, which I completely agree with. Saw 2 doesn't happen until a year after the first Saw film, so they have plenty of time to work with, especially with Saw X taking place only 3 weeks after Saw 1. They seem to be planning this very well with continuity in mind, which is refreshing, especially after Jigsaw and how they tried to shoehorn some stuff in that didn't really work too well. I'm hoping for the same dedication and scope of Saw X, having it more personal and not so bombastic. Of course, each Saw needs gore, but it's a part of the identity, but it doesn't need to be overwhelming, because how they did Saw X, man, it was truly refreshing. It reestablished my hope in the franchise. Another thing is I hope the story they choose to expand with will be cohesive and with the current timeline that they're building, and then the overall storyline of the entire franchise. Because one thing I'm cautious of is the reveal of another apprentice. I personally would hope Gordon will have a bigger part in this one, kind of how Amanda had a part in Saw X. So casually setting up the events of Saw 7, where he makes his unpredictable return, as all of us fans when we first saw Saw 7. It was completely unpredictable. But Cecilia, she's a fantastic villain. Her and Hoffman are definite standouts, seeing as how they make Kramer come across as the protagonist. And seeing how Cecilia doesn't make a later appearance in the franchise or is mentioned, I can only assume that this might be her last game, that being Saw 7. So if that's the case, I hope she goes out with a bang and not a whimper. Cecilia's ability to come across as more sadistic than Kramer, almost being his exact opposite. In the terms of Kramer traps people so they will value life, meanwhile Cecilia traps people because they value life, taking advantage of them in their moment of weakness, but providing them hope. It's like a complete opposite of Kramer, which I thought was an amazing little detail. It was shocking, but a welcome experience, well, in my opinion anyway. Overall, I think they're continuing to make smart decisions. It also seems as if they have their focus and drive back. The Saw franchise has been lacking, but with Saw X being one of the best, if not the best in the franchise, and with this interview and everything they've explained, I think we're headed in the right direction for a revival of one of the best horror franchises. I can't wait to see what we get. I think the worst is behind us, and it's only going to get better from here. Maybe I'm being too optimistic, but hey, with how shitty horror movies are these days, I mean, one can only hope, But thanks again for tuning in. Let me know how right or wrong I am below, and you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are, and remember, stay spooky.